Welcome to No Limits Toastmasters, your Toastmasters in the community. I'm your host, Rachel Weiss, and after a little bit of a hiatus, we're back on the air with you. I thank you for your patience. We've had some struggles and difficulties. We've had some losses. Unfortunately, I have to report that our host and producer, Fran Okeson, is no longer with us. She passed away on September 11th. This show is a focus on the leadership of Toastmasters and how we are resilient and continue to move forward. This is a special show because we have the leaders from District 83 with us today. I want to thank you for your continued support of us and look forward to hearing your suggestions for speeches in the coming months. Today, I'd like to introduce Linda Starr. She is our District Director for District 83. It is Linda's privilege to lead us in this coming year. And Linda, I'd like to hear what you have to offer.
Thank you. Good morning, Rachel. It's lovely to be here, and it is a little sad, of course, because Fran isn't here, but I know that in the spirit of Fran and Toastmasters, we will move forward and we will persevere. I have a special role as District Director. I'm responsible for administering the day-to-day operations of the district, along with covering the finances and the human resources aspect of the district. So that means that I am in charge of making sure that every member matters, as our former District Director Ann Gilson would say, and making sure that everyone has the chance to reach their goals. Fortunately, I have a team of district officers, division directors, area directors, club officers behind me to help us to fulfill these responsibilities. Our goal is really to help everyone to fulfill their leadership and communication goals. We're backed by the Toastmasters mission of building new clubs and supporting all clubs in achieving success and excellence. And the way we do that is that we're guided by the Toastmasters mission, we're guided by the Distinguished Club, Area, Division, and District Plan, and we also have our own goals that we have set up. These goals for this year include becoming a Smedley's Distinguished District. And what that means is that's the highest level of achievement for a district. It is a high goal for us, but we believe if you aim for the stars, you may just hit the moon. So we're going to work hard, and as the saying goes, it takes a village, or in this case, it takes a district. And we will work our hardest to achieve this goal. We're also looking to implement a district-wide mentoring program. Right now, we have several mentoring programs. We have a new club mentoring program, and we also have individual mentoring on the club level. We'd like to expand this so that if you need a mentor, and I think everyone really needs a mentor, then you can have somebody outside your club to help you with a speech, with a contest, with whatever your goals may be. We'd also like to improve member participation outside the club. Yes, we all love our clubs, and we should, because the clubs are the foundation of Toastmasters. However, there's life beyond the club, and I found for myself, and I know I've heard from other Toastmasters, that once you do realize that there's things to do outside your club, whether it's contests, going to training, going to the many district events that we have, then you really gain so much more out of Toastmasters. For example, on Saturday, November 16th, we're going to have our fall recognition event, where we're going to honor people who have had education and leadership achievements so far this year, so from July, August, and September 2019. We'll also honor the clubs, and we'll honor other people as well. We have a terrific guest speaker that day, Stefano McGee, who is our Region 9 International Director. And for this and other events, always check tm83.org. We'd also like to increase Pathways participation to 100% by December 31st, 2019. And what that means is that while we do have people who are still on the traditional program working to finish projects and perhaps gain their DTM before our transition to Pathways June 30th, 2020, we'd like everyone to at least, go on to Pathways, become familiar with it, do the assessment, pick your path, look at level 1, because as we bring on new members, they're going directly onto Pathways, the exciting new education program, and we want to have members who have been experienced members to be able to chat with them and tell them about the program. We're also rejuvenating our Speakers Bureau. The Speakers Bureau brings opportunities for Toastmasters to speak outside their club to the community, and many of these speakers are already or close to being professional speakers. To that end, we have an event on Saturday, November 9th at the Madison Library. We'll have our existing qualified speakers speak at this event, and it's also a great chance to learn more about the Speakers Bureau. Again, you can sign up at tm83.org. So this year, as I said, our goals are high, and every individual has their own goals. There are many paths to success, as I like to say. So whether your path is to do your icebreaker speech, to become an area director, to become a club officer, whatever it is, we're here to help you to achieve these goals. Because whatever your goal is, we can aim high, we can aim wherever we want to go and help you on your path to success. I hope that this year will be a great year for 2019. Actually, I don't hope, I know that it'll be a great year for District 83, and I'm really looking forward to working with every member this year.
Thank you, Linda. And I like to say hope is confident expectation. So yes, I hope for our continued success and to be able to achieve that Smedley's Award for our district. And to do that, each of our members have to be successful. And to be successful, we need that support. Michelle Tropper is going to come up and speak with us next, and she's going to talk about let's meet up and how we can better serve ourselves and our members. Michelle?
Thanks, Rachel. Greetings, No Limits Toastmasters and the Staten Island community. I'm really excited to be here today to talk to you about meeting up and how you can build your Toastmasters clubs within the community. Currently, there are 4 Toastmasters clubs in Staten Island, and I'm told one of them is in jeopardy of folding. And there is a real opportunity here for us to be able to find new members within our communities and even within the businesses within Staten Island to help increase membership in our existing clubs and potentially to build some new clubs right here on Staten Island. So I wanted to share with you some ideas about how you might be able to do this right here in Staten Island to build your Toastmasters presence. We know that there's been a lot of success over the years with the 4 clubs that were formed here in Staten Island, but a lot has changed in Toastmasters over the years as well. Not just because of our new educational program that we are now embracing, that you've heard about, Pathways, but we have a lot of technology available to us that we can use to our advantage. If you did a Google search today and looked up Staten Island Toastmasters, you would find this club has somewhat of a social media presence. I saw on Twitter some images from January meeting where one of our members, Sue Brooks, was in the sound room working the control board. And I also saw a few pictures of Fran Okeson on the TV show. And it was great to see the Twitter feed. It was not from the club itself. It was from a journalist on Staten Island or in New York City. So that was is great to see. So social media isn't just about what your club might produce itself, but how you get picked up within the community and other social media feeds. Twitter isn't the only media outlet that's out there. There's Facebook and Facebook groups, and New Day Toastmasters actually has a Facebook site, and if you Google them, you'll come up with their Facebook site. But one underutilized resource that I want to encourage the Staten Island clubs to consider is something called Meetup. It's a social media platform that you can use to generate interest in your club within the community. Currently, there are only 6 groups using Meetup on Staten Island, and they're not Toastmasters clubs. They're hiking clubs, a bowling club, a group of people who are interested in volunteering. So it's a really great opportunity for Toastmasters to get their clubs listed as Meetup and to find people that you have not tapped into yet who may have an interest in improving their public speaking and leadership capabilities. It's very easy to use. You can go to meetup.com to set up an account at a not-for-profit rate. It's only $14.95 a month. And because all the clubs in Staten Island have fewer than 20 members, the District 83, is offering you an incentive. We'll pay for half of that Meetup fee for 6 months. And after 6 months, we'll reevaluate and see how you have gained new members. If you look at the existing groups in Staten Island who have Meetup groups, some of them have over 500 members. Now, does that mean that your club is going to have 500 members? Not necessarily, but you have the potential of reaching thousands of people. And as Rachel was saying about hope before, hopefully some of those individuals will have an interest in checking you out, coming to your club and becoming members and bringing people that they know to your club and benefiting from Toastmasters as well. So why not take advantage of technology that's already out there? If you looked at Toastmasters clubs within 10 miles of Staten Island who have groups on Meetup, there are at least 11 clubs that are within 10 miles. None of them are on Staten Island, though. So what a great opportunity to get our clubs on Staten Island connected to social media and building a social media presence beyond the standards of Facebook or Twitter, and using Meetup as one of those sources. Information about applying for our district incentive will be available on our district website. Linda mentioned it before, tm83.org, and I would encourage you to go to visit our district website. It may be a few days before we have this information up there, but there'll be information about building a marketing plan for your club that includes use of Meetup, working with me to put that plan into place, and then following up with individuals who sign up for your club through Meetup. I encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity, and let's build our clubs in Staten Island and look to build some new ones as well. Thank you for letting me be a part of your day today.
Michelle, thank you so much. I've got one follow-up question, and that is, when I was part of the district trio, I said Toastmasters is the best kept secret. Do you agree that social media might be the best way to toast ourselves and to get that message out of what we can do for leadership?
Thanks for that question, Rachel. I agree with you. Toastmasters is the best kept secret. If nobody knows about us, how are they going to find us? Social media is a great way for us to reach people that we haven't reached before. And this is a tool that wasn't available to us even 10 years ago. It's really only in the last 10 years that social media has started to have a presence, and maybe even in the last 5 years that it's become a force. I do think that this is something that we want to embrace technology as a tool to help us move forward with our goals of becoming a Smedley's Distinguished District.
Thank you, Michelle. Our next speaker is our Program Quality Director for District 83, William Markert. He's going to talk to us about club quality, a job for all of us. Willie?
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and TV audience, viewing audience. The Program Quality Director is responsible for all aspects of education and training within district, and I am committed to bringing new quality initiatives to our district. There are three important aspects of this job. Training our club and district officers is a top priority. When club officers know their responsibilities and implement quality initiatives, the member experience will be enhanced. Speech contests provide our members with opportunity to significantly improve their speaking capabilities. We need to provide these contestants with quality contest officials that can run a professionally run contest. Coordinating quality conferences is also important to our members. Members will learn about the district business. They have an opportunity to participate in educational workshops which lead to self-improvement. They will be able to listen to and learn from some of our best speakers, and they'll have time for networking with other Toastmasters. Today, however, I would like to focus on the quality of club programs. Many of you probably think that your clubs run quality programs, but the statistics might tell a different story. Last night, I looked at our district dashboard, and I discovered that over half the clubs in our district had less than charter strength of 20 members. Now, this is significant because membership is a sign of the quality of the program. Given this fact, I thought it would be useful for us to review the quality of club programs. There is an excellent tool out there which can help you review the quality of club programs. The Toastmasters Moments of Truth program focuses on 6 critical areas. Each of those moments provides an opportunity for a club to create a positive impression. I'm sure most of your members do a great job welcoming visitors to your club. But how is your member orientation program? Do you assess the learning needs for your new members? Is a mentor assigned for each new member, and does that member explain the educational and recognition program? Are your new members encouraged to sign up for speaking opportunities? Our founder, Ralph Smedley, often said that we grow and learn best during moments of enjoyment. Are your club meetings enjoyable? Do you regularly schedule social events? Do you encourage club members to participate in area, division, and district events such as speech contests, celebration events, and annual conference? Do you make it a habit of visiting other clubs and bringing best practices back to your club? You know, there is life outside of your Toastmasters club. And how about your program? Are your projects manual or pathways projects? Do you have creative table topics? All of your evaluations should provide a positive yet beneficial experience to the speakers. Membership recognition is a powerful motivator. Is your members' progression displayed for all to see? Do you submit applications for educational awards in a timely manner to World Headquarters? Do you celebrate their achievements at club meetings? In addition to member recognition, how about your club? Do you plan for and celebrate achievements in the Club Success Program at your meetings? Finally, I want to address membership growth. I said previously that membership is a sign of club quality. When you deliver a quality program, membership will flourish. Last year, our international president, Lark Doley, introduced the wow factor. The wow factor parallels the moments of truth in some regards, but it provides a series of questions which you can use to help evaluate the quality of your club's program. This program also encourages membership growth and participation in educational seminars. I highly recommend that you check it out. If you are a member of other volunteer organizations or service clubs, I would suggest to you that both the Moments of Truth and Wow Factor programs can be equally successful in your other clubs. This morning we've talked a little about some of the major responsibilities for the Program Quality Director. I've given you a high-level overview of the Moments of Truth program, and we talked a little about the Wow Factor. The moral of this message this morning is don't be complacent. Although you may think you have a quality program, there is always room for us to raise the bar. Madam Moderator.
Thank you, Willie. I have one follow-up question for you, and that is, when we give speeches, we get evaluations. Would you think that the Moment of Truth and the Wow Factor is a way of the club to get an evaluation so the club can do better?
Absolutely. There are quite a number of criteria that both programs look at. If you look at those programs, it'll lead you to think about creative ways to make your club meetings even better.
Thank you, Willie. Our next speaker is well known here at Toastmasters in the community, Joan Maurizio. She is going to give us a speech. You read, but do you understand? You read, but do you understand? Joan Maurizio.
Hello, Toastmasters. I'm sure all of you are grown-ups. You're on your own in some way. You get bills every month. But do you actually understand what the charges on the bill are? The reason why I ask that is I had a little to do with the electric company. So I looked at old bills. They don't know people are smart enough to save a bill from 35 or 40 years ago. So I said, when I first moved here, we were not getting a delivery charge for electricity. Only the gas company did that, but you learned from them. Now you're giving us a delivery charge. No, we never charged a delivery charge. Well, how long are you working for the company? And I said, well, about 5, maybe 6 years. I said, well, you wouldn't know about that old bill. I have an old bill in front of me, and it definitely says just the kilowatts per hour, and you're always given a minimum. Even if you're away on vacation, your electricity is still in touch, you're still getting billed. Same thing with the gas. Anyway, all of a sudden now they put me on this Energy Saver program, and I found out from a person that was coming around from ESCO's to sell you a lesser rate. I had been dumped by Masco, which was charging me less than 9 cents a kilowatt. Now I'm going to Con Edison. Ooh, I said the company, sorry, their rate. And my highest bill even then was only $30 to $45 in the winter, and maybe a little higher, never more than $75, $80, even with the air conditioning on all day. My air conditioning went out 2 years ago, so I was getting $50 or less during the summer. All of a sudden, I get a rate jump, and it's 550% more than it was last summer. What's this about? Let it go. So I caution them next month. Next month is still 400% over. Now, I looked at what I was using, and I could understand that 550 rate. I'll tell you in secret about it later if you want to know about it, because that's a big jump. But even 400% was wrong. So what happened was I sent in my 2-month bill because I had not paid the June bill. I said, July, they'll hear from me. In large writing, I put right near my signature, paid. Yeah, prayed. I should pray about this. Paid under protest. They called me a couple of times after that, but then I finally got the actual survey that said, are you happy with your service? I started to laugh. I just thought this was so funny. I said, you know what, from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, mark me 1 minus. And she started to laugh. After I told her about the problem and the 500% increase, she said, well, are you using your dishwasher more than twice a week? I said, what dishwasher? I don't have a dishwasher. This is my dishwasher. All right, then, are you using your washing machine more than twice a day? I said, I'm not using it. As a matter of fact, I stopped using it when I saw the bill was increasing, so I wash everything by hand, the old-fashioned way. If not, I sent it to the dry cleaners, because some clothes do say dry clean only. Now, she couldn't understand this. I said, let's go a step further. I have a small Smart Energy tube type TV, but it says Energy Star on it, so I know I'm government approved. I don't have a computer. I said, you know what else there is to shut off? Because I don't even use my stereo anymore. Should I unplug my refrigerator? And that's when she really, she says, it sounds like you're very unhappy. I said, yes, please note that on your remarks about this customer. She said, well, what did you call us about before the bill went up? I said, well, you put a smart meter in my house, and now that this bill has jumped 550%, they're supposed to be able to tell you where your energy's gone to. They're supposed to be able to pinpoint at any time in your house. If you get up 2 o'clock in the morning and go to the refrigerator to finish off that pint of ice cream, they know you went in your refrigerator for food. It's smart refrigerators, too, are coming around. But you say to yourself, you know what? There's no place else for me to go. So what I did was I started shutting off the lights until 6:30 in my house, and I use a little handheld lamp for when I need it and the few times that I do. And that did bring my bill from 45 down to about 30. So it is improving. I just say to myself, this is all a ploy, you know. Everybody has to use a minimum of $75 a month, or they're not happy. They're not getting use out of you. I'm one of the bottom feeders because I don't hold a job. I'm on Social Security. And all I can say is, please have mercy on me. What I do want to tell you about the smart meters, I had a choice then. We can come out to you once a month and read your meter. It's going to cost you $10 every month, or you can take the smart meter. So put the smart meter on the house. Who cares? Now, I got a big scare this year. Friends of mine sent me a DVD, and on that DVD it shows in California, they have 12 lawsuits against dash, dash, and dash. Not going to name the company. 3 of them have already settled, I think. But they showed that company, the dash, dash, and dash, showing right up about 10 seconds after the fire department. And they actually pulled that smart meter off the wall. The smart meters in California began 7 or 8, maybe more years ago than we did. These smart meters are only supposed to last 5 years or so, meaning 5 to 10 years. They actually showed just the spot on the wall where the guy saved his house from burning, and the company's going to get in trouble through the fire department with the insurance because the insurance has to be paid. Did you know if you have a smart meter attached to your house, you're not covered by your insurance company unless you tell them? So I think I have to go home today and tell my insurance company, look, I have a smart meter. Am I covered? Should I stand out there all day in case it catches fire and hose it down and blow it out? But anyway, this is the world we live in today. You think you live in a free country. If you're smart enough, look it up online. I got the book, D.A. Kelly, Manual of Free Energy Devices and Systems, and Build Your Own Electricity.
Thank you, Joan. I'm the final speaker for today. The title of my speech is, What is Leadership? What is leadership? For me, growing up, from the dawn of time, leaders have been the ones that lead others through the unknown. When I was in kindergarten, my kindergarten teacher, Miss Hartman, told my mom, watch her. She's going to be a changer, a leader. Is leadership in our DNA? Some say yes. I say there's a propensity for leadership in our DNA, but leadership really has to be developed and grown. Toastmasters is a place where you can develop that leadership, become a better leader. Did you know that there's more than one way to lead? All the different leadership styles come down to, being the captain of the ship or the manager brainstorming the new Toastmasters journey, the strategy to succeed. It's a spirit of exploration that lives within each leader. The trick is to pass that down to your chain of command, to your members, to those that are part of your team. DNA? Sure. Some of us exude that sense of control and leadership, that confidence, that calm in the midst of the storm. But most great leaders have a style that's unique to them. and that includes traits developed over time through a variety of leadership experiences. Great leaders tend to motivate and inspire. They encourage those to lead themselves better, to help the leader learn and grow, but to help the people that are under his leadership or her leadership grow as well. We've heard from the leaders of District 83. There are opportunities for leadership at the club level. The clubs report into an area, so you have 4 to 6 clubs into an area, and so you have an area director to help those clubs become successful and give them feedback. The areas, 4 to 6 areas, report into a division, and that division director works with the area directors to give them insights as to how to direct and guide those clubs to become successful. And then those divisions report into the district and the 3 district officers that we've heard from today. Great leaders have to learn to adapt their leadership style and behaviors based on the situation and the people that they're leading. Good leaders know the abilities, the skills, the talents of those that are part of their environment, part of their organization, and leverage those abilities, because in doing that, the organization becomes better, the leadership has strength, and the job gets done. That exploration gets found, and there is success for all involved. Before you start leading, you need to fully understand yourself. There's 2 ways to do that. Read a book or join Toastmasters. There's several pathways in Toastmasters geared just for leadership and developing your leadership style. One of the books that I'd recommend is The Road Back to You, an Enneagram Journey of Self-Discovery by Ian Morgan Crone and Suzanne Sable. They explain the importance of self-awareness and how that plays to build relationships with others, to build successful projects, to explore and find that which you're trying to accomplish. The book not only helps you understand your Enneagram, but it will help you use your personality type and the tools in your toolbox to be meaningful connections with others. I'm part of the Pathways program, Strategic Relationships. In level 2 of Pathways, it helps me identify my preferred leadership style. And then those other leadership styles that may have been learned and grown over the years in my career. It also helps me understand my preferred communication style. And the way we communicate is the way that we connect and engage others. Once you understand and know who you are and how you're wired, that DNA, you can be more effective as a leader and become the greatest leader that may be still hidden within you. Leaders need to delegate. They need to be curious. They need to have some decisiveness and innovation to set their sights on their goals and to lay out a path that others can follow and join in. I'd like to leave you with this quote. Until you cross the bridge of your insecurities, you can't begin to explore your possibilities. That's from Tim Fargo. Thank you. Next up is our first evaluator, John Ramasa, and he's going to evaluate Linda Starr's speech. John?
Hi, thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I'm very pleased to have met the District 83 club officers at this Toastmaster meeting. And I'd like to start by saying that the speech by Linda was very informative. Titled May Path to Success. Her preparation was very well thought out, and it was presented in a detailed and concise speech and manner. Her speech was very clear and informative in regards to how to achieve success in the Toastmaster organizations. Everything was presented in a very well, great, and informative way. There were many questions concerning how to become informed of the Toastmaster functions, and common interests were brought out. As far as your organizations are concerned, as far as your participation in your organizations, I'm very well pleased and I'm honored to have you with us today. As far as the overall scope of your speech, I think there should be more speeches of that nature, and I believe that the more that the information that they present about Toastmasters and how to get involved in their organizations per se, and the more it's publicized, we'll have a greater and better following. Thank you very much.
Next is Jane Cosciolga. Sorry, Jane. She's going to give Michelle Tropa's speech, Let's Meet Up, an evaluation. Michelle, we thank you for your speech. Jane, let's hear what you've heard from Michelle.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Michelle, for that great speech about social media and Let's Meet Up. I think sometimes we forget the things that we have at our disposal now in order to make our clubs better. So I found Michelle's speech very informative as I have become Vice President Education of 2 of our clubs. So I think this is very important for us to interact with the community to bring more members into the clubs. Michelle's speech was excellent, giving us the options that we have. I thought she could work on her gestures and using her gestures to incorporate more vocal variety into her speech. Her clarity was spot on perfect. I thought it was great. Vocal variety, I felt she could work on. Eye contact was excellent. Gestures, as I mentioned, she could use a little bit more effectively. Her audience awareness was perfect. Her comfort level, she was very comfortable giving a speech. The interest, she engaged the audience. I was extremely interested in what she had to say, and the topic concerning social media was very appropriate for our meeting. Thank you very much, Michelle, for sharing that with us all.
Thank you, Jane. Our next evaluator is going to be Linda Starr, and she's going to be evaluating Willie's speech, Club Quality, a Job for All of Us. Linda?
Thank you, Rachel, fellow Toastmasters, TV viewers, and Willie. Willie's speech was supposed to be a story with a moral, and his title was Club Quality, a Job for All of Us. Willie did tell us the story. It was an original story. He was talking about how we can have successful clubs. I thought his story was very relevant. It was well organized, and he had, what I really liked best about it was that he had really good resources that he offered to us. He was talking about how to have a quality district, how to have quality clubs in terms of having new member orientation, looking at the moments of truth. He quoted Ralph Smedley about having moments of enjoyment, and I thought these were all very useful things. And at the end, he explained to us that the moral of the story was don't be complacent and that there's always room to raise the bar. It's very important to have club growth and success. The only thing I would have done differently, Willie, would maybe be perhaps to add a little bit more specific examples from clubs. But overall, I thought it was a terrific speech, very informative, and I really appreciated it. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Our next evaluator is Song Ramasa, and Song is going to evaluate Joan Marizzi's speech. You read it, but do you understand it? Song?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you. I enjoyed listening to Ms. John Mauricio's speech. You've read it, but did you understand it? What I liked about her speech was that her vocal variety. Her speaking voice was pleasant, natural, expressive, and easily heard. She used volume, pitch, and rate as well as appropriate pauses to reflect and add meaning and interest to her message. She was a very unhappy customer with her electricity bill, but she was humorous. What could the speaker have done differently to make the speech more effectively? I don't think there is anything that I can add suggestion. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sung. Next is going to be William Market. He's going to be evaluating my speech. Rachel Weiss, what is leadership? Willie.
Thank you, Rachel, and thank you for your speech entitled, What is Leadership? Whenever you pick a topic to talk about, I think it's really important that you think about what would appeal to the audience. Who is a leader? Are you a leader? I would suggest that every one of you is a leader, either a business leader, a community leader, or a leader within your family. So this topic was a topic which should appeal to each and every one of us. Rachel went through and she talked about the DNA of a leader. She talked about things such as traits, the fact that leaders motivate, they inspire us, and they cause us to want to delegate responsibilities out to the members of our team. All things that are important about leadership. This is a great topic to talk about for all of us. Now, Rachel, if I had to make any suggestions on areas that you might want to consider for your next speech, I would think a little bit about providing an outline right up front so we know where you're headed with this speech. As you talked, I wanted to hear a little bit more about your personal experience with Toastmasters, because I believe that personal stories will really bring the subject to light. And the last thing I just wanted to talk about was basically when you talked to us about motivating, that's a really important subject. Again, if you could have brought a little bit of your personal experience in it, I think that would have been really good. Overall, I think you picked a great topic. I thank you for your speech, and I look forward to hearing you again. Rachel?
Thank you, Willie. And for you, our studio and our home audience, next month, I'm going to be bringing in the follow-up to that, and that's my leadership style, where I will give you some examples and how I learned more about what leadership is through my Toastmasters journey. At this point, we're going to start table topics. First is going to be Jane. I'd like to have Jeanette Alexander as our second table topic person, and then Michelle, you'll be our third. So just so everyone is aware of what's going to be happening. First up is going to be Jane Castiola. Jane, the question I have for you is you're relatively new with Toastmasters and you're in more than one club. Do you have a mentor? And what has that relationship done for you?
Thank you very much, Rachel. And yes, I do have a mentor, or should I say I did have a mentor. Fran Okeson was my Toastmaster mentor. From the first day that I met her, the first evening that I met her, she encouraged me and guided me within the Toastmasters. It was her guiding me and asking me to join this club that brought me here today. I now have taken the time to explore my options for a new mentor. So as of now, I am without a Toastmaster mentor, but I am looking for a new person to help me in my future endeavors in Toastmasters. Thank you very much, Rachel.
Thank you, Jane. Jeanette, thank you for stepping up and stepping in. I know you've been a Toastmaster for a while, and I just have this question for you. We're going through a transition right now from the old program into Pathways. I'd say it's like going from high school or elementary school into the university. What is your expression, and how has the transition into Pathways affected you and your part of Toastmasters?
Thank you very much, Rachel. This is an interesting question and one that affects all of us as Toastmasters. It is definitely a transition, and a lot of people are resistant to embracing Pathways, but this happens whenever there's something new that opens up to us. I can encourage everyone to keep an open mind. There are new ways of learning. There are new opportunities ahead for all of us. So I just encourage everyone to look at the Pathways program, talk to people who are in the program now, and then just dive in and give it a try. It's the way of the future, and I want all of us to be in on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette. Next is going to be our PQD, our Club Growth Director. Michelle, Willie talked about, and Linda talked about member participation. We have the Speakers Bureau, we have workshops, and of course we have CTV and Toastmasters in the community. What things can we talk to our studio audience and our home audience about getting involved with Toastmasters?
Well, Rachel, thanks for that question. There are so many ways that Toastmasters can get involved with the community, and the community can get involved with Toastmasters. One of the things that we do as Toastmasters is we are helping to improve our communication and leadership skills. We have things called Speechcraft, which are programs that we could bring into the community to help community members learn about having more effective meetings. So if you're a business and you have regular meetings, don't you want those meetings to be productive? How many people have sat through a meeting and wondered when it was going to be over? Maybe you didn't have a structured agenda. That's something we do in Toastmasters. We develop agendas and we follow them. So that's something you can get. We have youth leadership programs where we encourage youth to learn how to become more effective public speakers. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So come visit us at tm83.org or go to toastmasters.org. Find a club near you. Put in your zip code. Each club is different. You'll find something for you, I'm sure.
All right, before you leave, you just sent something called youth leadership. I think that's something that maybe people on Staten Island would like to know more about. Youth leadership, what age group is that involved with, and why would we want our youth to join an event or an opportunity like that?
So youth leadership is an opportunity with Toastmasters for young people anywhere from the ages of 10 to about 18 to participate in a group with other students. It's always led by a Toastmaster who's the chairperson, and a co-chairperson that can be a Toastmaster can be somebody from the community. Maybe you have a scouting group or a 4-H club or some other youth organization, National Honor Society. It's a way for youth to build their confidence in speaking publicly, and also to build leadership skills, particularly for the high school students and students ages 14 through 18. The opportunity here with leadership counts towards those leadership hours that they need from the National Honor Society. So it's a win-win. It introduces the students to improving their skills, and maybe their parents might also have an interest in joining a Toastmasters club, and they'll join a club once they turn 18.
Do you think that's going to help the student be better at getting into university or a college?
I do think that it will help for interview skills when they need to go to a college interview, and it will just boost their confidence overall. I saw it with my own daughter, who participated in a youth leadership program when she was a junior in high school, and her Girl Scout friends were all part of this program. They all built confidence that's going to last them a lifetime.
Thank you, Michelle. Linda, I have you here at the table with me, and I'm going to give you the next Toastmasters Table Topics question.
Terrific.
And that is, what is a Speakers Bureau? What is a Speakers Bureau?
Speakers Bureau is something that is very exciting for us. Speakers Bureau gives opportunity for Toastmaster members who are looking to be professional speakers or who really want to be more involved in public speaking outside of Toastmasters, so they'd like to speak at community events, at other organizations, and so it could be to talk about projects that they're passionate about, and it can also be to talk a bit about what Toastmasters has done for them, and to really show the benefits of Toastmasters and how other people can get involved. After you get a DTM in Toastmasters, there's many people who also go on to become accredited speakers. And there's an entire program through which Toastmasters will give people this designation. And at the same time, the Speakers Bureau really is an entry for people who are thinking about going in the direction toward the accredited speaker program. So it's something that we're very excited about to bring this back to District 83.
Thank you. I just want to let our home audience know that the Speakers Bureau, we have a list of who those speakers are and topics that they can talk on. I've been part of a Speakers Bureau in the past. My specialty is cybersecurity, so I've spoken at the senior citizen event or community events. I've spoken for, I guess you call it the Parent Teachers Association, the PTA, and given advice as to how to protect your identity. That's an example of one of the ways that the Speakers Bureau can help you in the community. I also am with amateur radio, and I work with the New York City's Roadrunners. Tomorrow happens to be the marathon. And so I've spoken about things that have happened at the marathon that maybe you wouldn't have known about, behind the scenes things. So it's a way of being able to see what's going on Staten Island, what's going on in our community, and being able to have someone give us, maybe some of the funny things that don't get picked up by the news. So check out our Speakers Bureau. If you need a speaker for an event, maybe we can help solve that need. At this point, do we have time for another? We have time for another table topic. Let's bring Willie back. Willie Markert, would you please come back to the lectern? And Willie, my question to you is training. What is training at Toastmasters, and how can that get our studio and our home audience engaged to be maybe a visitor or a member of a Toastmasters club? Willie?
Training is the heartbeat of any Toastmasters organization. Our leaders need to know what their job responsibilities are if they want to deliver an effective program. Delivering an effective program draws people in. It makes them excited about being a part of the organization, and it gives them the opportunity to develop their own skills too. Now, these are not only skills that can be used at Toastmasters, but many of the skills that we teach can also be used in the corporate world. For example, If you trained to be the finance manager at Toastmasters, you would learn something about budgeting skills. In corporate America, do you have to make budgets and follow those budgets to stay on track for the company's financial performance? Of course. There are a ton of transferable skills that Toastmasters teaches, and we have the opportunity to learn not only from the Toastmasters program, but to take those skills and bring them into other aspects of our life to help us become more successful. Rachel.
Thank you, Willie. Our program today has been about leadership. It's been about thinking maybe outside the box of what we normally look at. I hope that you, as our home audience, have been encouraged to check out one of the Toastmasters clubs on Staten Island, to maybe tune in to Toastmasters in the community. We have speeches that we hope engage, energize, and challenge you at home to be better as a leader in your home, at work, to be better as a communicator with your family, especially your teenagers, with your coworkers, and maybe even your bosses. Today, I've got one of my bosses here, Linda Starr. And Linda, it's been great having you on the show and your team and knowing what's going on. Do you have any final comments?
It is always a pleasure to come out to Staten Island and to be a part of the program, so we really appreciate that you invited us here today.
Well, thank you, Linda. And again, this is Toastmasters in the community, No Limits Toastmasters. We are going to continue on the legacy of Fran Okeson and producing this show so that you can see it at least twice a month. This is Rachel Weiss, the host for the show today, and I thank you for tuning in. At this point, I'd like to have our speakers that have spoken today come up during the music. I'm not sure where we are with the ending of the show, but I do know that it's been a privilege to be serving you in this role for so many years, and I look forward to being able to help make this happen. All right, it's been a tough road, but we finally got you here, and I thank you all for being here and
pleasure.
participating today.